TikTok, the ban. It got banned last Thursday. If I'm not mistaken, the House voted on it, and it was like unanimous, pretty much across the board. Um, they did release a list of congressmen that didn't sign the bill, like but even though it was a lot bigger than I expected, majority of them did, and it got passed. So now it's going to the Senate, right? The ironic part about it is because well, they keep saying like China's gonna sell our data. There's breach of like information, like all these things, right? Because they've been hounding the CEO of TikTok. Like they're just asking him like questions about like, are you Chinese? Have you ever had Chinese food? And if you did, does that make you Chinese? Like it was like ridiculous. It was so stupid. Like they were trying to get him to say like that somehow he was affiliated with like the communist Chinese government. Like they were
In
just
other words,
trying
if
to
he's a terrorist.
like entrapment essentially. Like they're just like he kept like, and then he was like he was like smart about it. He's like, I'm from Singapore, like now that's not to say TikTok is owned by China 20%. Like 20% of ownership does belong to China, right? But there's other investors there. It's not just China. The only thing is with the ban, so like yes, the ban passed in the House. They're giving them 6 months to sell TikTok over to an American company, right? So that they, quote unquote, can make it better. That's what they said, right? We already know what that means. That means they're going to censor the shit out of it.
Yeah.
They're going to change the algorithm to benefit them. That's what's going to happen. Because I don't hear anybody saying Facebook and Instagram have had hella breaches and no one's trying to ban them. No one.
And they're worldwide.
Right. But because they're
owned. Yeah, because it's on all languages.
Yeah, but they're owned by like Americans. They're American companies, right? No one's saying let's ban them, right?
Cyber wars.
Zuckerberg has been on trial for selling our data,
Yeah.
He bought Instagram, so now they're like under Meta, what's it called? Amazon's not happy about TikTok Shop. Not at all. They do not like that. And neither does Google, because now, myself included, uses TikTok as a search engine. Because why not? It's there. Like, people are uploading. It's easier. TikTok Shop, by the way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hella coupons.
What happened to their friendly competition?
No, that's not how that works. That was of America of like 70 years ago. That America doesn't exist anymore. So they're telling TikTok these things. The catch is they're not going to be able to sell TikTok. The way it's set up, China will not allow it. And the U.S. government knows that. So when on their end, they're like, hey, we gave them an ultimatum. Like, they need to sell over to us, right? Within 6 months. If they don't, it'll fall back and be like, pretty much prove their point to see like the Chinese government has. But they knew that going in when they wrote that in. Yeah. They knew
propaganda.
They knew that it would not, it's not for sale, first of all. You can't be like, sell something that isn't even for sale. Like, he made it very clear. TikTok is not for sale.
Just wait till Trump has something to say about it.
The funny thing is, right, we're all thinking like, because the funny thing is the fucking stupid as the government is, right? The House was like, yes, banning it. We're all on board, right? Because we're getting like hella payouts from Amazon.
Oh, the Facebook, lobbying. Oh, my God.
Instagram. They're pushing. Like, they're the ones who are pushing this because of the money that they're losing. Like, TikTok is quite the competitor. They were not expecting that. Like, the funny and ironic part is that 170 I think that's the number they said. Million Americans are on TikTok. That's a lot of people.
How many?
170 million
Oh yeah,
are on TikTok, right?
yeah.
They didn't take that into account. They didn't take into account that I think it's like 130,000 small businesses operate in the United States through TikTok, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of small businesses, right?
Yep.
That's a lot of income. IRS is gonna like be like, hold up. That's money we're owed. Like we need like that's money that comes to us.
Wait, how are they getting paid through TikTok?
Who?
The small businesses or even influencers. Now that I think about it, since it's
Because they're content creators.
yeah, but who's paying them?
Whoever's buying the stuff. So the public. So like as a small business, you can get on there once you've gotten like a certain amount of like I guess followers. You can promote your business through the like you can like apply to start being affiliated with the TikTok shop. So you can like now sell your stuff through there
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to sell it through like Amazon. I'm sure it's probably harder to get approval for that, or even just like have like a website where you like like how are they going to find your website? Like cuz you see the algorithm on like Instagram. I just don't see people like selling stuff through there like they do with TikTok cuz like you can make your own videos, show the process, and like it's just been a lot easier. It's like better. Like I think there's more of like a community where you like feel like and can trust the business through TikTok. And then like cuz it has coupons that you can discount and like the shipping. I wouldn't say it's like Amazon Prime but I think it's within a week that you're getting it. So it's not too bad of a wait. And a lot of times the shipping is free. So you're not having to pay for Amazon Prime like that.
Yeah.
So like it's just better. They're like small business friendly, and I just think on top of that, so one of it is just having a product to sell through TikTok Shop. That's one way they're making money. Another way is through affiliates where you're selling stuff that's already on TikTok, like you're on commission. That's a form of employment. And then the third being content creators. So
Well, that's where I was thinking
TikTok
that.
pays them by
Okay.
views like how YouTube would. So that's still income that you're getting that you have to report to the IRS.
Okay. Which is
So
coming from a foreign economy, I'm assuming. It's getting converted into
I'm not
US
sure
dollars and
exactly
so
how
forth.
that works.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the ins and
I just
outs
thought
of
of
that
that. I don't know.
part. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I guess it'd be the same way of how does YouTube do it, like in other countries, like.
True, but I guess like how you're saying these are, US companies, right? So it's not really, even though they're worldwide, they got an issue with this one being worldwide. That it's not originated
Right.
from the US.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely.
And
Now
then
there are investors, like there are investors that are US investors, but that it's not theirs. Like,
uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like how maybe YouTube would be, like
Oh, okay, okay.
what's it called? Where's I going with that? Oh, okay, so right, everybody's like, well, not everybody, but like as far as government officials are like, yo, I've got a ban, right? The Senate's like, well, hold up. We don't know about this. Like, we understand you guys are trying and why you guys are doing it, but let's look at these numbers now because we weren't aware that there's this many American like TikTok users. We weren't aware of how many small businesses were like working with TikTok and how much money we would be owed or lose out on if we ban TikTok. Like our economy's already shit. Do we really want to do this? So now they're kind of backtracking. Now they're being like, hold up, is this something we really are sure that we want to do? Because think about it. Even though Bezos and Zuckerberg and all those assholes are like lobbying,
Hmm.
they're not lobbying to the actual government. They're doing it to government officials. They're paying off the politicians. But the politicians aren't turning around and being like, "Oh yeah, by the way, US government, here you go." Like a cut. Like that's just staying in their pockets, right? So they're not the government's not actually the government isn't seeing any of that money, you
Mm.
know? So they're like, right, you guys are getting paid, but as far as
I was gonna
the
say, yeah,
country,
the irony,
they're like, hold up, like the IRS is like, hold up, like,
the Iron Curtain.
you know, let's slow down here and really think about what we're about to like. At that end, they would be the final say, right? The Senate.
Yeah,
So they're just like, I don't know about this. We should think about this, guys, because like we weren't aware that this is like. I guess they just hadn't looked at numbers because all in the house they were just like, right, our we got paid already for
to say what we needed to say.
right. But what I was gonna say was because Jeff Bezos and them, they're not paying thanks to Trump. They're not paying their taxes on their corporations that they have, these businesses. They're not paying tax money like that. So exactly, the IRS is gonna be like, hold up, we're not seeing any of that money. You motherfuckers are, but we're not. Like, and we still need to run the country. Like, you guys might be getting those checks, but what about the actual U.S. government? Like, so now they're just like, and I just think it's funny because I'm like, they're just like, as much as they say we're ignorant, and we are, I was like, they're even more ignorant. This could like really hurt us, like as a country. Like, well, all these small businesses, like,
Yeah, and then it those other ones just suck. Like, and then it's funny how you did mention Facebook and Instagram. Like now that I think about it, the people that do follow, they're always complaining that their stuff is getting taken down
mm-hmm,
constantly, and they don't see why.
mm-hmm.
You know, um,
They don't follow their own community guidelines. Like, they pick and choose. Like, the algorithm, like, it has to be very much like, and obviously that goes like further into stuff as
yeah.
far as like,
And who gets to though?
right,
Keep that in mind too, like race.
right. Which, not to say that it doesn't happen on TikTok, because it does. Because I've told you before about like those like dumb girls like Addison Rae, and I forget the other bitch's name is. Like, they blew up off like being the most basic bland bitches, but because they're palatable, they like got credit for something they didn't even like create. It was from like black women making these dances, but just again. So I won't like say that TikTok isn't like that, but it kind of has more of a feel to where like as long as you're consistent, you'll get there. You know what I mean? Like, it might take
Hmm.
a little bit longer. Where I feel like with Instagram and like YouTube, you have to start paying a lot to like get your shit like promoted or like visual.
Well, YouTube also updated their standards.
Right.
You know how much you need to reach, and I'm at to assume this is why, because they are noticing the shift to TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
because they were putting it at like what was it, 100,000, then it went to 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that says a lot.
Well, and the fact that they added the reels on Instagram, like the
Oh
shorts
yeah, the shorts.
on
Yeah.
YouTube, because they saw that like oh, and the thing is with like specifically Instagram, it was very curated. It was very aesthetic, like the whole look of the stuff. Whereas on TikTok, you could literally just be yourself, and the more people like found you relatable, the more you blew up. And that's what I think the beauty of TikTok when it first started was that you didn't have to have such a curated look on there for you to be like promoted more. Now it's starting to like get there, but like, I mean, it's to be expected,
Yeah, TikTok was already there to begin with, and they had the better features, better like services and
Mhm.
creativity options that the other apps just don't have.
Right.
You know.
And not just because like, I mean, I think a lot of the creators on there, like, regardless, had backup, like they have backups to it to where they're like, oh, here's like the fuller video on YouTube, because they're also not dumb to be like, well, we're not also gonna miss out on like you know,
Other outlets.
other outlets. And then like I know of quite a bit of them have been like, well, I'll still be on Instagram. It's not the same, but like, if it does get banned, you guys can find us on there,
Hmm.
But TikTok has just been kind of its own, and it's not as toxic as the other places are. Like, something on TikTok could blow up and have positive, very positive, like feedback and reception, and then you could put the exact same video on Instagram, and the comments are completely different. Like, it's just a bunch of haters on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
it's just it's just not it's just not it. Which the whole thing was like a lot of us are saying like if TikTok were to get banned, I was like I'm deleting all my other apps. Like I don't have Facebook, but like Instagram would go away. I think I was like YouTube is fine. So Pinterest, I would just have that because I was like there's no like I go on TikTok to find recipes, like to get information. Like they're so upset at that. Like do you know how much more exposure we get on TikTok to just even news? Like they don't
Well,
like that.
yeah, because they censor all that on
Yeah.
theirs. They really do.
Yeah.
I think the recent stuff, especially around COVID, that they were doing was like, oh, fact check your post,
Right.
because I would share something that had to do with COVID at the time or whatever, even say a post, right? What's on my mind, and they'll be like, before you share this, like,
Hmm.
get your facts straight.
Hmm.
What facts? The ones you guys are,
Well, they push their narrative.
yeah, like
And I feel
are
like on TikTok that
creating, like,
that doesn't happen. Like you can get like I feel like you can get both sides of the story. Obviously you're gonna still make up your own opinion about it, but like you just have access to like unfiltered like news coming in from both sides. And I think that's like,
right.
that's the beauty of it. And they don't like that because like well, you saw the boycott with Starbucks and McDonald's and the whole free Palestine movement, and then the Kellogg's. Now they're doing Tyson chicken, so it's just like they don't want the community there. So
Yeah, and it's funny because really, then stop being shitty ass companies, and then maybe we wouldn't have it be shit talk.
they're like, no, we want to do it our way and not care about anybody else. Like,
Yeah, if y'all don't want to hear all the shit talk on TikTok, then quit quit being some shitty ass people with y'all shitty ass companies. You know,
oh, yeah,
to your own people. In the states, like,
it's funny when they're like the government would never, and it's like they would though. They absolutely would in a heartbeat.
yeah, that's just what it comes down to. Then just stop being the way y'all being so damn greedy, or at least allowing these Jeff Bezos uh, to lobby all these politicians. Like, what the hell? Looking to them. Y'all keep
Right.
looking into us like it's another red scare, and like it's always another scare that the people are gonna get together and get on y'all, and the ones doing it is like the people that's lobbying. Like,
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, unless y'all in cahoots with one another, and that's why y'all don't. Like,
That's what it is.
what I'm saying? That's the only other explanation that we can come up with. So there you have it.
The U.S. loves to talk about like corruption in other countries, and then meanwhile they just do it in our face
Yeah.
and
Just
call it like not that.
right, right. Keep us ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Again, the Gucci belt of what? The earth.
They're like we're a third world country with the Gucci belt.
There you go.
That's terrible.
Yep.
We haven't been in first world countries, I think, since we were kids. Like
True.
I
True.
think we peaked when like Clinton.
Yeah.
That was it. That was like the peak. It's been going downhill since then.
Exactly. So I mean, we'll see what happens within these 6 months. I hope it doesn't go away, because I'm actually thinking of new ideas now. That's making me just want to get on there now and
I
go
know. I'm
hard.
like, really? I was like, right when I was like gonna get my shit together and actually and start.
Nah, for real though, like, it kind of makes me want to, but then and go ahead and, like you said, delete the other apps, because every time I try on there, like on Instagram and Facebook, it gets flagged. I mentioned this on the other episode. Like, my shit gets flagged and hidden and under review. over bullshit. Like I don't even go to the extremes of showing like, you know, explicit stuff and then you guys always want to create my new profile to all sexual stuff from the get. Like but yeah, if I were to do something like
The
that,
algorithm said you're a man.
yeah, from the jump. Like what the hell? Just trying to keep us blind, man. That's it. Well, I think I am gonna delete the other ones. And, well, except YouTube, of course. We love YouTube. Thank you guys for letting us upload these. But shit, damn, we gotta talk about it, right?
Absolutely.
So there you have it.